Hello and welcome back to Kaleidoscope. It's been a while. We were on vacation for the summer, but here we are back for an adventure. We're not going to leave the studio, but we're going to take a trip with these two fine people, Julie and Ed Baldwin, prominent people in the town, and they were gone for quite a while. So let's start with, first of all, a little bit about you. Both of you were retired?
Semi-retired.
Semi-retired.
Semi, okay.
Yeah.
And so you had time on your hands to do things. And with that time on their hands, guess what they decided to do this year? They decided to walk the Appalachian Trail. We're going to hear more about that and just how long it is in just a minute. But I want to go back and ask you what prepared you to come up with the idea that at this time, not when you're in your 20s, not necessarily when you were irresponsible, young, but rather when you knew the pitfalls and what could happen and had children, adult children. What made you decide this past year that you were going to take this adventure?
Well, first off, we've been wanting to do it since forever. You know, I was a Boy Scout. We did backpacking. Julie was, I think you got into hiking in
I came up for college and they had a freshman outdoor program, and I went on it, and that was the first time I was in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, and I fell in love, and I've been hiking ever since. And I also worked for the Appalachian Mountain Club for a period of time, and so I knew a lot about the AT, and it was always just in the back of our minds. And we've been hiking for as long as we can remember.
For 40 plus years.
Yeah.
So now, just before that, what was your career choice? Anything that would have prepared you for all of this?
Oh no.
No,
What was it?
We're medical writers. We work for pharmaceutical companies mostly, or medical communication companies that work for pharmaceutical companies. And we write training manuals for sales representatives and do slide decks for doctors at conferences and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but so we're freelance. We're not working we're working for ourselves.
So we can be as retired as we want. That's the,
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
When you're a teacher, you can't really retire. You know,
Right.
say,
Right.
I don't think I'll come this week.
You've got 3 months off. That's,
All right,
that's it,
and
yeah.
so for you, you were a Boy Scout.
I was a Boy Scout. Wound up doing chemistry. And then I decided I didn't like it, and wound up wandering through a couple jobs, and eventually wound up freelancing as a medical writer with Julie. So one of the things that made this hike possible is that we get along really well all the time. A lot of people we talk to say, well, I couldn't be that close to my spouse for 3 months. So, but
We're the opposite. We'd rather not be apart.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been married
Yeah.
72 years.
Wow.
And
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
yeah, doesn't seem possible,
Yeah.
but yeah. It's
Well,
a long
we
time.
celebrated our 30th anniversary on the trail.
Oh, how wonderful. That sounds romantic.
We'll mention no.
Yeah, we'll get to that
We'll mention
part.
that later. But you know, we said we have a bunch of adult children. That was the two things is we financially reached a point where we could afford to take off a year of work, and all our kids had grown up and moved away. One actually moved back, and so she took care of the house for us while we were gone.
Oh, that's a good thing.
It was very good.
Very helpful. Thank you, Lizzie.
Yeah.
Yes, because I know I've been married 52 years. I'm
Okay.
the other age.
Right.
But you've been married 30-something years.
30 years.
And so that builds a relationship if you can, because my husband and I are the same way.
Yeah.
Where he is, I am. And so you're now planning. You had this idea. Who came up with it and said, how about the Appalachian Trail?
I think it was my idea.
I think it was you. I think she said, "Let's do it next year."
Yeah.
And so we called we texted contacted all our clients and said, "Okay, we're going to be gone.
Yeah.
Zero work is going to happen." So we wrapped everything up and read some AT stuff and bought gear and.
Yeah, our line was, we're as young as we're ever going to be, so we better get going now.
That's the other thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a guy, his trail name is Graybeard, and he's 90-something.
And
And
he's hiking.
I don't. Has he finished?
I don't think he's
I don't
finished.
think he's finished.
He's
but
still
Because I
hiking.
read about him
Yeah.
when I was
Yeah.
looking up all this stuff about the Appalachian Trail.
Yeah.
We didn't meet him, but we would hear about him. I think he was ahead of us and back of us.
Yeah,
in
he was
different
jumping
points.
around even more than we did.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Now, you didn't go from point A to point B
no.
because Ed and I share as trustees of the library. And so he said, I'm not going to be around for a while. So we thought, like a month. And then, no, he was gone. And then he'd come back for one meeting and then he'd be gone. And I thought, well, he could Zoom.
Right,
and then I
right.
found out where you were.
Right.
No
Yeah.
Zooming.
No Zooming.
Zooming was, there were places with just no cell signal, so
Yeah.
not even technically possible. And even when we did have cell signal, I was too darn tired. I was not thinking about the library.
No, no.
Yeah.
So you decide on the date you're going to leave.
Yeah.
And
March 28th, 2025.
Yep.
March 28th.
Yeah.
And-
That was 3 days after the town meeting voted on the library
library.
renovation project.
Yes.
And I
So we
figured
had to
whichever
stay
way it
for
went,
that.
I was going to be done. But
So now you're planning your trip.
yeah.
How did you get to, now you didn't start at one point and go straight through.
No.
So tell us how you did that little trip and then,
We did what's called a flip-flop. We started in the middle, roughly, and hiked to one end, and then you go back to the middle and hike to the other end. And for us, the middle was Harper's Ferry, West Virginia.
West
It's
Virginia. Yep.
Which is a beautiful spot.
If you haven't been there, you should definitely
if
visit.
you're going down Interstate 81, you should take some time off and visit. But anyway, what we did is I have a brother in Washington, D.C., which is maybe an hour and a half drive. So we flew down, spent the night with him. He drove us out and dropped us off. And that's, if you see that's where we started. That was day zero.
day zero,
We-
and
we-
you're
we
all,
were-
we want to make sure you have that smile when you're day 210 or whatever.
we never lost that smile.
Good,
No.
good.
And people kept commenting. They said, "Are y'all sure you're on the AT? You're smiling this so much. You look the same and everything." No, we're just
Yeah.
happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
We
you
loved it.
did the southern part.
We did the northern part first.
Northern
we
part
started
first.
So we
Harper's
started in
Ferry.
Harper's Ferry and went to Maine.
Oh, okay.
The rule is that if you finish within a calendar year of when you start, then it's a through hike, and you've done the whole thing in 1 year. And we wanted to do that, so we managed it by a week. So.
Good, excellent. Now, when you were planning this, because I looked it up, there was 2,209, I think, miles.
2179.5.
Okay,
When
to
we
be
did- when we did it.
197.
Okay, so
21,
did you
oh, yeah,
do
97.
every step of
21,
that?
97.
I want to make
did
sure
do every step
You
of
did
that.
every step.
And when we did, because if we would come off of a trail to go to a shelter, and there'd be another trail that went that way, we would go back and get back on the trail.
There were a couple places that there was a place in New Jersey where we were in spring, and the water comes across some stepping stones, and it was like this deep over the stepping stones. And we looked at that for a while and said,
Oh, we went. Yeah.
yeah, so we walked around on the road, but that's a
was-
recognized detour.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Approved.
and we wanted to do the whole thing, but it was actually longer than walking the trail, and just it was a road walk. Road walks are awful, just in
Right.
general. But
Okay, now, how heavy were the backpacks?
We started out at about 40 pounds.
yeah,
And by the end of it, throwing things, getting rid of things that we weren't using, we were down to about 32.
less than that. It's
You have your base. That's
there's your base weight, which is everything basically except food and water, and then you bring 3 to 5, 6 days of food with you. So that's maybe a couple of pounds a day.
Okay, so you
when
got that on your back.
So when you start, you've got 10 extra pounds, and then you have probably 5 pounds of water every morning, and then it's really frustrating because your pack gets lighter as you go because you drink all the water.
Yeah.
And then the next morning you fill it back up and you pick up the pack and you've gained 5 pounds on it again.
Yeah, you go, okay, okay. This fascinated me. So you would come back and go again. How did you go to the spot back on the trail? Did somebody always drive you there? Did you have a bus that dropped you?
All
most of the time
above.
we were on the trail.
Yeah. There's a whole ecosystem of or town, a 2,000
Support system.
mile town support system of shuttle drivers, people who are sort of like Ubers for hikers.
Oh,
but
okay.
you call a day or so in advance or text or whatever and say, can you meet us at place X at time Y and drive us to wherever.
How
and,
clever.
And you do that, and you pay them for it. And usually they're really nice guys or women, and they love the trail, and you have a good conversation about it. We got to know some of them pretty well.
We did that about once a week, and the rest of the time we're sleeping on the trail
Yes.
at campsites and shelters.
Well, I was just figuring because I know you came home for one of your kids' graduations, and then you were going to go back.
Right.
I'm thinking how they could fly there.
We flew to D.C. My brother dropped us off, and we hiked to Pennsylvania, and got a shuttle to take us to a rental car place in Allentown, and rented a car and drove home. And then we did rental car and drove back. And then we got to, next time we stopped, we were in Dalton, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And one of our friends from town came out
Oh,
and got
I
us.
see. Okay.
And
then they dropped us back off.
Yeah.
And then we got into New Hampshire.
we got to Vermont, and my brother got us. He's also in Massachusetts.
Well, it's nice having relatives
It
along
really
with
is.
that.
Yeah.
And we got to New Hampshire, and our daughter got us. And we got to Maine, and we had a shuttle to Millinocket, and then 3 different buses to get to Boston. And then
It's an adventure.
the commuter rail to Westboro, and then an Uber to home.
Oh, gosh.
So it's an odyssey, but
Yes.
you just work it out.
And it's like just an adventure to find your car.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because I didn't know very much at all about, I've heard of the Appalachian Trail, but I didn't realize, because remember, all I could see is, you going through the trees and stuff, that this was actually considered like a national park. And I guess it's the largest
The longest
trail in the world.
Yep.
That's
think
what
it
they
is.
said in the,
It is the
No,
longest.
well, there's the Continental Divide Trail's longer.
no, they said this one was
I
the
think
longest.
this one's longer.
Is it? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's certainly
Encyclopedia of Adventures.
it's the oldest for sure.
Yes.
The Long Trail, which runs length of Vermont, is older and sort of inspired the AT. But it's 200 miles long, and the AT is 2,000. So there's a little difference there.
And there's also people who actually, see, again, I was worried about you being out in the nowhere with no one, but there are people that are responsible for certain areas.
Right.
Yeah.
Those national societies of,
Yeah.
trail people.
Right.
And so I said I should have read that, because every time he didn't come to a meeting, I think, okay, this is it. They're gonna find them, and then we'll hear about it, because my disaster.
Yeah. They also have
Impact.
people called ridge runners who are on the trail, and I think it's really from March until September,
March,
October.
When the hikers
when
out
the
there
hikers are out there, and they
less crazy.
usually have a section of 40 to 50 miles that they're just going back and
So they'll
forth
take
and
5 days to walk that, and they talk to everybody, they make
okay.
friends, and
try
they
and educate you. But
educate
they're
you. But
a
if they come
resource.
across somebody who's lying on the trail with a broken leg,
Yeah.
They'll know what to do.
Yes. Now, in this trail and in the, what was for you the most? I know when I went to the Muir Woods, my heart just exploded. We went at 7 in the morning. One of the guides took us early, and no one else was in there with phones or making noise, and I just went, and I could not get over it.
Yeah.
And that kind of only happened a couple of times in my life, where something just Yo-Yo Ma playing the
Exactly.
it's like, So what was that for you? And then I'll ask you, what was that moment?
It's repeated endlessly along the trail. There are so many moments. Like my heart is sort of envisioning these different things. But I think getting to Katahdin in Maine was probably one of the high points, because the Maine is just beautiful from beginning to end. And when we got there, and then it's a very difficult climb. And then once you get up the mountain and then you're on a plateau, it's still a climb. So when we finally got there, and then you've got this 360-degree view of everything, it's just beautiful. But we had so many beautiful sunsets and sunrises and just interesting scenery.
Yeah.
It was just
So for
great.
you, what was that aha moment when you went?
Katahdin was definitely the emotional high point, just because it's the northern end of the trail. So when we got there, we'd done more than half. It was hard. It was beautiful. Just for me in general, being on top of a big open mountain, I'd be dancing around, singing whistling the sound of music or Beethoven's Ninth or something.
Really?
I loved that. That's literally true. I love it up on the tops of these places.
Well, his trail name is Whistler.
Oh,
So-
because you like to whistle
whistles.
tunes.
Yeah.
So I don't do it too much while you're walking, just because
You need the air.
No, he can whistle while
I
he
can walk
hikes.
pretty hard and still whistle, but it just gets boring after a while.
But it entertained
But,
me, so
Good.
I
Yeah.
was glad.
And I made a habit when we're getting to a campsite or something, if there might be people there, I'd whistle for two reasons. One is just to say, here I come, and I'm not a bear.
Yeah.
And it sort of supports the whole Whistler name thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And for what was the most terrifying when you said, "Oh dear, I think we made a mistake"? Did you have one of those moments at all where you felt in danger, or what was I thinking?
well, there's the idiocy story
Which one?
in the snow.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So we'll show you. We can talk about that later. We have pictures
Yeah.
of that. But we weren't in danger, but we literally were not. We had enough gear. We could have just stopped anywhere and camped and been fine. But we'll tell you about it.
Okay.
If-
Okay.
assuming there's time.
Now
Yeah, I
this
think-
is your lovely accommodations.
That was our
tent
first.
we started
yeah,
out
we
with,
started out with
yeah.
that tent. That's literally our first night tenting. So
But that's not the one you used all the time?
No.
no,
When it got cooler, we went to another tent, and this one had a few issues with rain.
Oh,
yeah,
So
it's,
so much for the tent.
Yeah,
no, well,
exactly.
it didn't leak, but it's a single wall tent. And
Yeah.
which,
Condensation.
yeah, when you breathe, if it's cold out, all your breath condenses on the inside of the tent,
Oh,
and then
yes,
it drips down.
Yes.
So we were in the rain once, and every time a raindrop hit, showers of condensation would fall on us
Oh,
inside
then you
the
didn't have to
tent.
take a shower the next morning.
Yes, we did.
Oh, we're going to get to that
But it was
more
yeah,
personal side about how you took care of your bodies, and your bodily needs on the Appalachian Trail. There's no one walking behind you with little baggies like they do for puppies.
Nope.
But I didn't realize, I thought the whole time you were going to be in tents, but you did tell me that they were huts sometimes.
Yeah,
And
they're
you could stop. and
usually
that was-
three-sided hut shelters. I don't know if we have a picture
don't think
of
we have a
this,
picture,
this
yeah.
collection, but usually we didn't sleep in them. A couple of
sleep
times.
nearby.
Yeah, you sleep nearby because that's an official site. But first off, there's usually other people there. And not that I would ever snore, but but people would snore. They might get up before us, or
I get up several times in the middle of the night.
whatever. Yeah, I
Yeah,
did
so
that too.
it's a lot more
And
peaceful in your tent.
Yeah,
So
and there's usually a rodent colony
Yeah.
because people drop food there, and so we didn't want to deal with the mice or
Yeah.
anything. So we stayed in a tent, except if it's raining hard, you're going to get condensation in your tent.
Yeah.
There's no way to dry out. And if you have a big dry shelter, that's nicer.
Okay.
And the same thing if it's really cold, that will stop the wind.
Yes. Well, that was a nice segue about Mother Nature and her wonderful creatures. I again was doing some research, and it was saying, that the bears are, friendly and come up for the food, and deer and rattlesnakes and up the way like a bobcat. So, did you have any wild visitors?
Oh yeah.
Well, first, I want to hear from her first, then we'll go.
Oh, okay.
Well, he saw a bear first when we were in Pennsylvania, but it just ran off into the woods, and I saw it running into the woods. And then we saw animals running away from us, not coming towards us. And the other one was a moose up in Maine, and he was just running into the woods, and you
I
didn't see
it at
that
all.
one.
Oh,
So
But just lots of, we saw a lot of snakes, and we're not scared of snakes, so that was a good thing. You just give them their space and you're fine. And then we just didn't see as much wildlife, and I don't know if that's because we're making noise and scaring them away.
Or your scent wasn't.
Yeah.
Well,
Told them, okay, we don't want people.
We did see porcupine.
Yeah, we saw some porcupines.
Oh yeah.
We actually watched one climb a tree. It was pretty cool. But they will eat, literally they eat the privies, they eat the shelters, they eat all kinds of stuff. A lot of white-tailed deer, a couple of rattlesnakes, any number of birds.
Yeah. And the black snakes,
Garter snakes and black. Yeah, there was one
bed of.
Oh yeah, we
6 or
walked by
7.
a nest of a half a dozen non-poisonous, I think rat snakes or black racers or something like that.
Little home away from home.
But it's
Oh,
cool.
there was one of the shelters apparently had no mice. Instead, it had a 6-foot snake,
That's why there were no
and that's
mice.
why there were no mice. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you didn't mind snakes, you could sleep there. But if you were going to be upset because
Right.
Yeah, they're snakes. Yeah, that's really. And you had a satellite phone, so you could check in with your children.
it was not so much a phone, but a communicator. So we
Yeah.
could send text by it. We couldn't talk on it.
Okay, but you had a way to communicate that said, "Get me out of here."
Yeah, if push came to shove, and we would. We actually it would upload our location every hour.
Oh, good.
So people would track us on the app for this thing.
Oh, too bad we didn't know that on the library.
yeah,
We've been tracking you to see where you were.
One of Julie's aunts was just,
They had
or
a-
cousin.
My aunt
Yeah,
had
okay,
a map
yeah.
up so that with her grandchildren she could
Oh,
follow
that's
us.
so cute.
And we went and they had put little stars along it, but we were like, oh, the distance we went in a day would be about that far, less than a quarter of an inch on the map. So you would literally have stars all the way if you were tracking. Yeah.
Now, on this hike, it says that some of the trail intersects with some actual towns
Yeah.
where you were really walking in the town.
You're walking down the sidewalk.
How was it seeing other people where they're going, hey there, how's the weather out there?
Yeah.
That was
People were
fun.
friendly,
Yeah, people, by and large, they really like hikers, particularly people around the trail towns. And we're reasonably polite people too. So anyway,
Yeah.
But were the towns, were you walking on sidewalks for a change, or
Yeah.
was
Every
this?
so often, not a lot.
there's only maybe half a dozen. Well, there's Duncannon in Pennsylvania.
Right. Can't think of a lot of them.
There's Hot Springs in North Carolina.
Yeah.
There's what's the place in Virginia, which is the trail town?
Oh, Damascus, Virginia.
And you're literally walking down the sidewalk on Main Street for all three of those. And there are some others that we're not thinking
stay in the
about.
town
Yeah.
when we go
So
through it.
you get there and there'd be a hostel or a
Hotel.
or occasionally a hiker hotel, which they just really don't look cross-eyed at you when you come in smelling like a hiker.
Yes, I was just thinking that. It's like, I don't know, I wouldn't rent a room to them till they showered.
But some of the hostels we stayed at, they would say,
Yeah.
okay, leave your shoes in your pack in this room, go take a shower.
And then come back and get what
and
you need,
get
but
what-
leave
yeah.
your shoes in your pack there
Yeah.
because they're the ones that smell the most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shoes can be,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
stinky.
So
The food, you had to keep carrying the food. Where did you buy it on the trail? Did you go into some place?
well, we did all kinds of things.
We started out with care packages.
We started out with our
We
daughter
had-
sending us a care package once
We
a
had
week.
set up, I think, 8 when we first
Yeah, something
started,
like that,
and we
to
would
go
just.
for roughly 2 months.
And he did a great job of listing what was in each one, so that we knew we could say, take this out or add this in, and then she'd mail them ahead of us, and then we would get to it, and.
But where
hotels,
would it be delivered?
It could be delivered to a post office
Usually,
or
you send
to the
it to general
hotels,
delivery.
the hostels.
Okay.
They all some of the businesses, like an outfitter store somewhere, would accept
will
it,
take it,
and
yeah.
then
Okay.
you just Usually they're just there, and sometimes you call ahead. And
yeah.
we had one time where the mail got delayed, and
Yeah, a couple of times.
we had to buy stuff. So we would usually go to a Walmart or whatever was most convenient, easiest to get to, and get whatever we needed. And you just have a set diet that you.
We finally settled on 2 Pop-Tarts for breakfast and usually a protein bar or something. And then protein bars and nuts and snacks and whatever all through the day. And then a freeze-dried backpacking meal and some tuna, packet or two of tuna. We got tired of mashed potatoes though.
Got tired of mashed potatoes.
Yeah, you can go to Walmart and get you go to Walmart and get a pack of mashed potatoes, and you can cook it by pouring boiling water into it.
Yes.
Which is as much cooking as we did.
Yeah.
And then you get enough mashed potatoes for 4 people. And we were pretty hungry. We could eat mashed potatoes for 4 people, but by the time we were done with all that, it was a stretch.
Yeah.
So.
Well, my husband is a retired chef, so he would be bringing his knives and no, and then I probably wouldn't have returned because.
Yeah, that's.
People would offer to give us stuff, and we'd say, "No, we don't want any more weight.
Yeah,
we're good."
The weight really matters.
Okay, so now what's our next?
Oh, this is our daughter came and hiked with us for a week.
Roughly halfway along the long trail and also on the AT. So.
And you're all smiling.
Oh yeah,
this is wonderful.
We were having well, we didn't. We have a picture of that same daughter. Earlier on, we didn't bring it where she was exhausted.
No,
this is
and that's when you're at the top.
This is this is
Lafayette.
Not Lafayette. This is on the way to Lafayette on Franconia. Not just people hike up in the White, so they probably recognize
and that was the next
sound.
day. It cleared up, but the day before we were walking through puddles, and
it was raining and
really
we stayed at one of the Appalachian Mountain Club huts up there, which is a really civilized, by backpacking standards place. They make breakfast and you're inside and they make dinner. And it had been raining like crazy when we got there. But so we got there and tried it out.
This is Lake of the Clouds.
Outside Lakes of the Clouds hut on Mount Washington. That was sunset.
I think that's the one I went
when
out.
you said there was a lake at the top, I was thinking that might be it.
Yes.
And that's one of our nicest sunsets. At this point, I had COVID and I didn't know it.
Oh dear.
So I was, Julie was, I don't know why you sent me out to take pictures.
I think I was sore and tired, and I didn't want to move again.
Oh, nice.
So that is.
He's getting more COVID.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I don't think I've gotten
Where
sick
is
yet.
that? That's you weren't.
I think that's Clay or Jefferson.
Somewhere on the Great Gulf.
Yeah.
So we've gone over Mount Washington at that point, and we're heading toward Madison.
Yeah.
And there you are smiling with COVID, and and you're smiling.
Well, I mentioned liking the tops of mountains. That's the top of a mountain up there, everywhere up there.
Yeah. This is Mahoosic Notch.
And we're in Maine now.
Which is the most difficult part of the trail.
The most difficult mile.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I don't remember just what we did, but you're going over and around and literally under these boulders for a mile. It was.
Hotel is sounding really nice.
This was
for a vacation.
Something about me, and I think maybe us. It was a real pain with the packs, but I would love to go back there. You can camp at one end or the other,
and not have
drop
packs.
the pack, and just scramble, do laps on it.
I was very nervous going into this, and we both have experienced rock climbing, so that came in handy. But just the stories you hear about this, but you just go slow, and you don't step until you feel secure. Because there's some places where you're leaning on one rock. There's a gap between you, and you're scooching down to get to another place where you can get a handle.
There was another place. You're literally going through caves in the rock. There was one which I was squeezing through, and I had to take my pack off. So I'm pulling the pack, and it's getting jammed up. I was angry.
So now, as we get closer to the end of this journey, because we're almost to the end of the time, what do you have on the docket?
We're actually
going to the moon.
No, no, we're still.
Right now we're working on the 4,000 footers in New Hampshire.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So we actually hiked on Saturday, did the Hancocks, and we're going this Saturday and doing Mount Katahdin, which we've done before. So we're
some
home.
friends.
We need to be home for a while,
Yeah.
but I think next spring we'll do
Next,
something.
we'll find something 300 miles or so and go off for a month.
Yeah.
And, haven't figured out where yet, but
I,
and it may
I don't
be
know
late
if we
spring.
told you after we did this, we went hiking in Peru, and then we went to Scotland.
And hiked
Oh
in
my
Scotland.
God. Well, Scotland has beds and food that you can
Yeah,
purchase
that was actually
That was a luxury trip
trip.
in the rain.
in the rain.
Yeah.
Our son and my daughter-in-law hiked around. She was stationed in doing postdoctorate work in Norway, and so Iceland and Norway up there. And they were living in Germany, but she would leave on the boat to collect soil samples and stuff. And so they decided for fun that they would walk the perimeter of Czechoslovakia.
Okay.
Wouldn't dawn on me to do that. But everybody has their,
Yeah.
what.
Apparently, there's a new trail that goes from Poland to northern Italy, which is about 2,000 miles long.
It's called the Wolf Trail.
So
So that's on our
On our
list.
radar.
There's
Oh,
the
okay.
So-
Caminos,
the
the
various Camino.
pilgrimages in Spain.
There's-
Oh, yes,
Santiago.
that one I've
Camino
heard
de
of. I've met a
Santiago.
couple of people who've done
Yeah,
that.
so that's.
Yeah.
But there's the Pacific Crest Trail,
Yep.
which is out west.
Yeah.
And-
There's 13 quote national scenic trails in the U.S. The Appalachian Trail's the granddaddy, but there's a 300-mile trail that goes from southern Connecticut to near Mount Monadnock, actually, which we may do that in stretches.
Well, I'll just have to, I am from Connecticut, so I will start in Connecticut and just keep walking. And,
Yeah.
be grateful I can put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so excited that you're continuing with this adventure and that Ed will be back so we can talk
To the
at the
library.
library, and that maybe you can go back to a little bit of work, just for the, the thrill of it.
We've done a little bit.
We've
and
done
so
a little bit.
Yeah.
If something comes up and it
Yeah.
doesn't look horrible, we'll probably
Yeah.
take it.
And the other thing, we think we'll go back and hike the AT again.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We
would like to.
really loved it.
it was great.
That
Well,
was,
you have to, because otherwise you go insane.
Exactly.
yeah, that's
We'd like to do it in different times of the year,
Oh, that'd be
so,
beautiful.
so we
because
can see things.
The last couple of months it was winter because
Yeah.
we were slow, and that was
But it could have been pretty, but
zoom through a couple of shots here if we
I
have
don't know
time.
if they,
yeah.
One
That's
top.
up in
That's in
Maine.
Maine.
that's
That's the
at
top of
Katahdin.
Katahdin. We were pretty happy.
Yeah. This is down in Virginia.
Now we've gone back and we're started south, so this is a sunset in Virginia.
Yeah. And this
Oh.
was our coldest day. No,
No,
this was
is
our
not the-
anniversary.
This was literally our anniversary. We were
how
in Virginia
romantic.
and we had a cold snap.
We were
you were in your
cold.
Trent, I take
We were in the
it.
Yeah,
tent,
yeah.
So we were.
Bundled up.
All of our clothing on. And
Oh dear, on that
That's
rock.
that's McAfee now. That's the classic picture from the Appalachian Trail.
Uh-huh.
If you go looking around, you'll see almost
It's already
everybody
making
gets
my
a picture
stomach get
taken.
queasy.
You'll notice I didn't go
Oh.
out on the thing. So this was in early November, I think. We bailed in early December and came home for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then the next,
Oh,
just
there.
as we got back on the trail. So now it's winter.
Yeah.
This is January 20th, I think.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That was the thermometer. You can see a thermometer hanging from Julie's pack. It was 17 at the moment. It had been 7 when we got started.
Oh,
So, but we had the gear. This was the aftermath of our idiot trip. We were hiking up through about a foot of snow and had to turn around.
We got to a point and we were going down about inches to a foot. And I just said, this is idiotic. We have to go back.
And I kept trying for about 5 more minutes, and I agreed.
Okay, let's go back.
Yeah.
But we went back after another snowstorm went by, climbed up the clouds through the fog, and we were tired and grumpy, and it was dark. And then we got through the clouds. We actually walked out of the clouds on the mountain, and now we're
That's
above
what
the
we're
clouds.
looking at. Yeah.
And it was gorgeous. That was one of the other emotional high points.
Yeah.
And you took those pictures
Yeah,
with your long arms.
yeah.
That's good.
And there was
Yeah,
just a
there's your
tent
little
in the snow
tent.
there.
Yeah.
2,000 miles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And that's in the Smokies. That's Klingman's Dome or Kuohi, or a place where the aliens landed and built a ramp. You know?
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
And this
And
is
that's the end. That's
Springer
Springer Mountain
Mountain.
in Georgia, which is the southern end.
Well, I'm so wonderfully happy that you returned all in one piece, still married.
Yeah.
You know, there'd be suspicion if he didn't come home. You know, that's the hard part. But yes, that sounds so wonderful, and I'm so glad you were able to share it with us, because I don't think anyone else in town done
Yeah.
this
Oh, yeah.
walk?
A couple of people.
So there's now a little private club
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get together and say, "Did you go here?"
One of our friends' sons did it, and his both from Westboro. His friend from Westboro. It's 5-some years ago. I forgot the gentleman's name.
Collins, Mr. Collins.
Mr. Collins. He's a teacher at the high school.
I don't
Was
know
a
if he-
teacher at the high school and ran for school board a couple of years ago. And he and his wife did it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we'd meet other people our age starting the trail, and they'd look at us. You know, it can be done. It can be done.
We can do it. We can do it. Well, thank you so much, and I'm so excited for you and your next adventure. But don't invite me.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll tell you about it, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Come back and show me pictures.
Okay.
Just don't
Yeah.
ask me
Yeah.
to come with you. So
thank you.
so much
Thank
for
you.
joining us today. You've just been wonderful guests and wonderful storytellers. So we look for our next guest coming up, and it's a surprise. So looking forward to sharing it with you. Take care.